Founder of Neurodiversity in Business. Dan, good morning.
Morning, pleasure to be here.
Thank you for being here. I know it's early, but appreciate you being here. First of all, how is Tech Week going?
Tech Week's been fantastic, and it's really pleasing to see Birmingham at the centre of this focus on technology.
So talk to me about neurodiversity in the workplace.
So neurodiversity is a beautifully simple concept. It's just cognitive diversity. Just as some of your listeners will have lovely long blonde hair and some will have short black hair, why would we not expect our brains to have developed differently just as our physical attributes have? So public will probably understand this more in terms of autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and a few other topics. But actually, it's a really simple idea that we are all different in terms of how we process information, how we socially interact. And there's a real competitive advantage to getting this right for UK PLC.
It can be a superpower.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a bit of an interesting term, superpower, because a lot of people in our community, including myself, challenge that because it disenfranchises some of our community, because there are real challenges. But equally, on an individual level, we should never take away from people if they feel their attributes are a superpower.
So talk to me about how important it is and why potentially it's a good fit for tech.
Well, the first thing to say is that we are the 1 in 5. So we are 20% of the workforce, and that's not a commonly understood statistic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when I kind of go into boardrooms, I've never been in a boardroom where they've said, oh, we don't have neurodivergent staff, we don't have neurodivergent people working for us. But what they don't necessarily have is a proper programme around neuro-inclusion at work. In terms of your question, why is it important is that big tech companies, a small number, are doing this and doing this pretty well. And what they found is that they're tapping into a significant talent pool that's out there. And as you know, there's a war for talent in the tech industry. So tapping into this talent pool has proved to be a competitive advantage to those companies.
And what kind of jobs specifically are a good fit?
Well, I'm really glad you asked me this, because I always rally against this as well. Because if we, for example, if a big tech company goes out and says, right, I'm going to make sure that X% of my software developers are autistic or ADHD, etc. What that tends to do is that tends to reinforce existing marginalizations in our community, because you'll get disproportionately white, male, middle class from a certain type of university. Rather, the thing that I counsel is that we should be going out and understanding, right, where are those strengths of the individuals and how can they map into what we need as a business?
So what changes need to happen, if any, to speed this process up?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the cultural acceptance and trying to remove stigma.
Yeah.
So, for example, post-COVID, it's perfectly acceptable for me to say to my boss, I'm going to be leaving the office at 4:30 on Friday because I need to pick my little girl up from karate. You know, that's normal. What's not normal, and there's still a real stigma around it, is me put my hand up in the middle of a meeting and say, sorry, boss, I'm really not feeling this meeting. I'm not processing the information in the same way as you're intending it. You know, we've not had an agenda. We've not got anyone taking notes in real time. We're not reconfirming and clarifying action points, etc. So there's a real stigma around me, Dan Harris, standing up in the corporate world saying I'm autistic and I'm ADHD. But that's what we're trying to break down through, you know, great stuff like the Birmingham Tech Week, where neurodiversity has been a key part.
And so for that to happen, then, is that a law change or just an understanding from more companies that that's how they have to operate?
So I don't think it's a legislative issue. I think it is more a cultural issue. And the fact is that more businesses going out there and having a really honest statement, which is, we want to become a neuro-inclusive employer of choice. But you know what? We're not there yet. We're pointed in the right direction.
Help us.
Exactly.
Help
and,
us
you know, I always say, you know, the 3 priorities for these senior leaders are to listen, and listen, because you've got those 20% of your workforce already in there. And I counsel against the rush to hire, because often what happens is you then get those 20% in the workforce putting their hands up and saying, sorry, I've been here 15 years. This isn't a terribly neuro-inclusive workplace. Why are we hiring more talent? Let's fix what we do internally.
Will AI affect anything in the future? Will it make it easier for more of these jobs to become available?
Yeah, well,
Will it help?
we couldn't be in Tech Week without not talking about AI,
I
could
imagine
we?
it's all you've talked about all week.
So look, I'm really positive about this because I think the future is neurodivergent, and the reason is if you look at any of the consultancy reports that say 30 to 60% of our workforce will be automated out in the next 20 years, that's a positive thing for us neurodivergent folk, because where we excel are not necessarily those straight line thinking skills which are being automated out through AI. Where we excel is the creativity, the innovation, the problem solving. And, you know, bless them, the humans we think are probably a bit better than AI at the moment.
Yes, exactly. It's a very interesting time, isn't it? So if anyone's hearing this who might be neurodivergent and think, oh, actually, I hadn't thought about a career in tech, what would your advice be to them?
I would say do not be put off by the fact that you may have some prejudice or preconcerns about certain companies. So Neurodiversity in Business, our charity, has over 1,000 corporate members, and we've got the likes of Amazon, Google, SAP, Oracle. So these are big tech companies, and I can tell you that they do have proactive neuro-inclusion at work programs, and actually some of them are doing pretty good work. So don't be put off, because we absolutely need that pipeline coming into the industry.
Okay, and so where can people go to find out more then?
Neurodiversity.org, very simple website, and you'll find everything you need to know about neuro-inclusion at work. And equally, membership is free, so please get in touch and we'd love to speak to you.
Dan, really good to meet you, really good to find out all about this, and enjoy what's left of Birmingham Tech Week.
Pleasure, thank you.
Thank you for being here.